So the PS5 generation is officially and all the credits go to this man right here, the quote-unquote retired CEO of PlayStation. Yeah, retired my ass, Mr. Jim Ryan. The story began on February 11th, 2019, when Mr. Jim Ryan became CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, and then on November 7th of the same year, he decided to promote his best buddy, Mr. Herman Holst, to head of PlayStation Studios, a position that was previously filled by the PlayStation icon, fan favorite Mr. Shuhei Yoshida. And from that moment, everything went to shit. Jim Ryan, with the help of Herman Holst, decided then to chase the trends and go all in on live service development by giving the green light to 12 live service games. That's right, 12 first-party PlayStation live service games. Let that sink in. Fast forward to 2025, Jim Ryan was clearly fired. Herman Holst became CEO of PlayStation, and how they promoted him to this role is beyond me. And of course, out of these 12 live service games, we now have 7 cancelled projects. The Last of Us multiplayer, cancelled in December 2023. Marvel's Spider-Man The Great Web. We don't know when exactly this was cancelled, but we do know for certain that it's cancelled thanks to the massive Insomniac hack. London Studio live service game, also cancelled, and the entire studio was shut down in February 2024. Twisted Metal, cancelled in February 2024. The Payback project from Bungie, cancelled in August 2024. Concord, do you guys remember Concord? I certainly do. Yeah, Concord was not cancelled, but I bet they wish it was. Concord was released last August, and you guys already know what happened. It was a massive flop, and it was taken offline forever after just 2 weeks. Ben Studio, do you remember Ben Studio? The great team that made the amazing Days Gone? Yeah, they were also working on a live service game since 2019, and guess what? It's also cancelled. And wait until you hear this one. Are you ready? A live service God of War game from Blue Point Games. Holy shit, what were they thinking? I mean, thank God this was cancelled. This would have been even worse than Concord. So to sum up the outcome of Jim Ryan's brilliant plan for the PS5 generation, we now have 7 cancelled live service games, 1 dead game on arrival, like literally the UA, 2 first-party studios were shut down, London Studio and Firewalk Studio, and more bad news is expected soon. What does this mean for PS5 players? Well, this means that the remainder of the PS5 generation is going to be significantly weaker than what it was supposed to be. I want you to think about this for a second. Imagine an alternate dimension in which PlayStation never pursued live service games. Imagine if all the studios that I just mentioned were working on what they do best, story-driven single-player games. We would have gotten at least 2 new games from Naughty Dog before the end of the generation. London Studio would have still be here, would have been released a new PSVR 2 game, instead that studio is now dead forever. Bluepoint Games would have released another amazing remake that fans are actually begging for it, like, I don't know, Bloodborne or something. We could have had Days Gone 2 this year, I mean for sake. Ben Studio hasn't released anything new since 2019, and the one single project they were working on is now cancelled, meaning that there is no way in hell we're gonna see anything new from that studio until at least 2030, aka the PS6. That's crazy, guys. This is in next level mismanagement. And before you start behaving like a child in the comment section telling me that I'm a hater and blah blah blah, yo, I'm a PlayStation fan. Maybe you're not familiar with this channel, but bro, I cover PSVR 2 pretty much full time now. And by the way, speaking of PSVR 2, people often ask me why is Sony not releasing games for PSVR 2. Well guys, I don't know if you noticed, but Sony is kind of f***ed at the moment. And I know that financially speaking, PlayStation is doing greater than ever. Trust me, I know that. But it's certainly not because of their exciting games or their clear roadmap anymore. It's because there is no competition, and the PS5 is pretty much the only logical option if you want high quality console gaming and if you want to have access to most games. And it's because whether you like it or not, the PlayStation brand is very predominant worldwide. But other than that, PlayStation hasn't really been PlayStation for a long time, and I'm baffled that it took them this long to start getting their shit together. The leadership at Sony made a huge mistake when they got rid of the old leadership at PlayStation. You know, Sean Layden, Shuhei Yoshida, which by the way, he did an interview just a couple of days ago, and he flat out said that, quote unquote, if I was in the position of Herman, I would try to resist that direction. And he's speaking about the live service push here. Quote unquote, so that's maybe one of the reasons they removed me. The higher-ups at Sony decided to fire the ones responsible for the incredible PS4 generation, and then they went on to bet on the wrong horse, and it's now biting them in the ass. It's crazy to me that Herman Holst is the current CEO of PlayStation. Guys, This man thought that Concord is going to be the next big thing. How out of touch do you have to be, right? Anyways guys, this turned out to be longer than I expected. I usually don't cover stuff like this, but I just couldn't not talk about this one. This is extremely frustrating, extremely disappointing, and yeah, to me this console generation is basically over. My only hope is that Sony are now making the right decisions for the next generation, because if they don't, they might end up with another PlayStation 3 situation on their hands, and no one wants to see that. But anyways, I want to know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments what you think of this entire bizarre situation and how are you feeling with PlayStation at the moment. I'm very interested to see what you guys think, so comment below. And yeah, that's gonna have to do it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching and take care of yourselves.